Holy moly. Oh boy, oh boy, it's hot. Holy. We are live. We are live. We are live. And what time is it? It is almost 3 minutes to. Okay, so. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Harry and Meghan. The royal shit show. They know what. Starman. There are we today. Hello, hello, hello. Hello, hello, hello. What's the date today? It's the 29th? I hope I wrote the 29th. I think I wrote the 29th. Oh, the dogs are going at it down the road. What we got here? Is that Lawrence? Lawrence! Hey, buddy. How's everything going in Oklahoma in the deep freeze? Archie, how's everything going? Tell me what the weather's like where you are, please. Oklahoma, I think I said in the last show, Lawrence, I don't know if you were here or not, but when that deep freeze came down and snowed in Florida and Ireland, I can't imagine it was. I can imagine it was quite cold for you, because I know the East Coast just got beat shit down. Oh, nice. Fuck. 68 and sunny. You're spoiled. Better go to the beach. Okay. Okay. Yeah, and the AI fear porn peddlers were out in fine form. Just what's going on. I think it's like It reminds me of Christmas with this AI shit that's going on. It's like kids with a new toy. There's no, because for me, my feed on like the Facebook and everything is being, because I, follow deadlifting videos, squatting videos, female bodybuilding, male bodybuilding. I still appreciate that, and the hard work that goes into it. But the AI is just gone over the top. I'm like, now I'm just like, oh crap. Now we've got to sift through something else of shit. Like, there's no end to it now. It's in, like it's flooding. It is super saturated with nonsense and garbage right now. So, but one thing on the snow, and I don't know about, Archie, I don't know what food you guys produce up in the north, but I was thinking about Florida and other areas that were. Any flights into the airport today? Is something going on that I don't know about? Yeah. So the winter's not going to affect that much. Like for like what I notice about the snow and the cold that happened in the south is that JC, good to see you, brother. Um, uh, it could affect the like people. I was reading articles that people were like panicked and they were trying to wrap burlap around their fruit trees. And I don't know what's going to come this summer. I don't know when it's going to come when the growing season starts. When everything changes over. I hope it doesn't get too decimated because I'm only thinking about what happened up in my area. Um, like we had that. If we if we don't get the snow where I'm at, if we don't get that insulation on the ground where I'm at, um, that when the cold comes, it goes right into the ground and it affects the roots of the trees. Now that's what I've been told because, and I've seen the actual evidence because not only me, but most people in my town, you can have peaches, cherries, and all that stuff. Pear didn't get any peach or cherry because of that cold snap we had, and we had a dry winter in our town, so that there was no insulation on the ground, and it affected the summer harvest. And I'm going to assume that that's the same thing that's going on in the South of America. That everything, yeah. Oh, flights for. Oh, sorry. I was. Yeah, the shrubbery's gone. Yeah, the president came in again. There was a marathon or there was some kind of run. So they came in for one day, whole entourage, two full army vehicles full of soldiers, and they did they did the perimeter. You know, they don't bother with us. I think they pretty well happy with what's going on this street. You know, and this isn't America. This isn't Canada. I don't think anybody on this road is armed with anything except for machetes. So, but yeah. So back to the so dairy farms and corn. JC, good to see you, brother. Ground temp here was hot. Yeah, for anything to stick. But I wonder why it's stuck in Florida and New Orleans. I don't know why, but I was thinking about that. Protect the food. Protect the food. Protect the food. I'm a firm believer that we've got to. There's something in the back of my head saying that what's got to happen right now is we've got to protect the food. Whatever you can do, have your garden, have your victory garden for your own self, so that you can have like, we at home we still have carrots, and we had beets all the way up until about just in December, and a few other things. So next year we're going to concentrate on things that are beets, potatoes, carrots, long store items that can carry through. Apples and peaches and pears. Oh my, that's great. For a certain period of time, but you're gonna have to can those. So we're gonna have to get into the canning and all that stuff. But I think it sends a message in my head saying, protect the food. Because if you look everywhere, Like if you want to talk about the U and the R, they're warring on food areas. You know, there was a conflict in that other part of the sandbox with a former country starting with an SYRIA, and a certain demographic took over the food area. So Choco, Choco's right there. The dog, you can hear them. So either somebody's on a bicycle or something's going on. They're all going lighting up, and the chorus of the dogs going on. So something's telling me that we've got to protect the food. I was watching Soylent Green again. When there's the scene where the governor is in a tent in Gramercy Park, and he's saying, this is the last tree or whatever. What the hell? You think the end of the world is coming, right? Choco, por favor. Choco, silencio. Yeah, like I'm mad about. Choco. Oh, a stranger on a motorcycle that the dogs don't know. Choco. Jeez. They just don't give up. They just won't give up. I mean, great guard dogs, right? There's no stranger's going to walk in this yard and go unchallenged. So that's a good thing. But anyway, protect the food. Protect the food. I was noticing. I'm getting that message in my head. Make sure you have a garden this year. And you know what? Having a garden's great. Sure, it's frustrating sometimes when the slugs get into your shit, but I mean, for me, having a garden is great. So all I can see right now is that the last thing we should be doing is effing with our food source. Polluting the ocean, doing whatever we're doing. We are going about the planetary custodialship. Is that the word? Because taking care of the planet, we're doing a shit job, and we've got to step up. Because I'm a firm believer that at one point it's just it'll flop over. This something will happen. It almost feels like what's going on right now with the extremes we're having and all of the talk about the Maunder minimum and the Dalton minimum and all that stuff, and we're going to go back to a mini ice age. I don't have any problems with that theory, but it'll be all over but the crying when it happens, right? It's like, shit, I should have went and got that last loaf of bread, or I should have. So if your gut tells you to do this, follow your gut, trust your gut, don't trust what the government tells you. Don't trust anybody else. Don't trust Putin. Don't trust Trump. Don't trust Trudeau or Keir Starmer, whoever's in charge of your bucket of shit wherever you are. So trust yourself and what you know, and stick with what you know. Because in my opinion, the idiocracy world is full steam ahead. I could segue into a bit of immigration deportation television shows with Dr. Phil, and I'm just like, mouth agape, wondering, WTF over, you know, what's it going to take? It's really, as a matter of fact, it's even worse than idiocracy, I think. It seems that way. Attention spans are very short. We seem to have forgotten the last 5 years. When I listen to the layperson talk about stuff like that, it's just like the whatever's been said and sewed into the psyche is said and sewed into the psyche, and when you're looked at like a complete kook. So it's idiocracy, it's backwardsville, and we're just going to be left holding the bag. So be true to your school, take care of yourself, and make sure that your family is safe and secure, and that's about the best you can ask. Everything else will be gravy after that. You know, if you've got extra in your garden, you can share with somebody else that might not have extra in theirs. So if I've got an extra couple plums, you know, I gave away some of my crop that I grew as Christmas presents. Because I had some extra, and I taken a break from that, so I quit it. So I had a whole bunch. So I said, yeah, well, what the hell? I'll share the wealth, and then well, something's happening. That was weird. Did anything happen? Did it stutter just there? Something really weird happened in my monitor. Is there? There's no. I've got quite a. You can see the leaves moving. A little bit of a breeze coming through here. I hope it's not affecting the cords or something. Yeah, it felt like it. It stuttered for a bit. I must have said some wrong word or done something. I swear the AI algorithm. We'll get into AI in a second, but I swear uh, they're looking for something. They're looking for something. They're looking for something. Yeah. Okay. Good. Yeah. It just stuttered. It just went floop floop. It just did this for like 2 or 3 seconds, and then it stopped. So it told me that something was going on wonky. That's I guess that's when YouTube they were listening to the video and they went okay, and they pulled the lever and I fell into the toilet. you know, because there's no way. It's funny, I watched I've watched a whole up and new channels that have been recently born, and I've seen them like grow so fast, and I'm like, wow, I've been around for 10 years, man. It takes me like a month to get one subscriber. How come they get like 10,000? I know the guys like the Judge and Jimmy Dore and all they're established channels and they've been out for a long time, but new channels that I hadn't even known about, and for the last all of a sudden for 6 months, then it's just and I don't know if that's a if they're paying YouTube or something, because I'm not part of the partnership program or anything like that. I just have my channel, so I don't know. It just seems really weird, but I'm sure that this video is not getting a AI help or traction. So, but I wanted to talk about the snow. I wanted to because I got a call from my mom. Hey, ma, if you're watching the video, I guess it was kind of cold in Tampa. I mean, that beach in Panama where they had that picture of the snow on the beach, that's where I went to school. So I was like, wow, wow. I think I said that last week. But anyway, we'll enough with that. Oh, I see the Circus. That's why I wrote Circus because I see the confirmation is going on for RFK. I haven't watched much of it. I've literally watched clips, Bernie, a couple of others, and man, and then I've noticed the dogpiling of the mainstream media and or prostitute whoreship doing their bidding of their masters, and I do believe he's going to be confirmed anyway. I don't see there being an issue, but there's a lot of bluster, circus, idiocracy going on, and the dogpiling on there. And then his cousin or something came out and said, yeah, he used, and I'm joking, of course, when I say this, oh yeah, he used to, light Barbies on fire, laughing and running around with his dick in his hand. Just the thank you for being obvious. Like that's what people should look at. If you're getting attention, there's the real attention, for the gangbangers in Toronto who lit up the street with their weapons. Yeah, okay, they're getting attention, not the attention that they probably want. But if just a Joe Schmo, RFK's been around a long time. All of a sudden, he's garnering this abject vilification, and because I've yet to find, of course, on the normal channels that are pro Trump or whatever, if you want to call it, are lauding him still. But my feed is filled like C-SPAN. All the shit is just negative. Oh, we caught him out. Oh, we caught him out. Oh, and then the comment section is filled with. I don't know if it's AI bot comments because I know that most of them are, and it's just he needs to go or he's anti-vaxxer, and it's just all the same. So the circus going on, RFK confirmation going on today. Is he being confirmed as a Catholic? Ah, sí, necesito hablar en español. I wish I could probably do it in French maybe, but my Spanish is just yo hablo español básico. So necesito stay here más tiempo y hablar más con la gente. You know. ¿Cómo te va? Espero que todo está bien, están bien con vosotros, con ustedes. You know. I don't know if I think you guys take Spanish, or you know Spanish. I do you, Americans know Spanish, at least in the South. When I was in Florida, I noticed that it was kind of interchangeable. I mean, John Wayne spoke Spanish, I think. He did in his movies, so I don't know about that. But what languages I wonder would I mean? I know a lady in the cusp who's taught English to Chinese, went over to China and taught English, and she learned Chinese. I don't know if she learned to read or write it, but she learned to speak it. But she's lost most of it now because she's been back for 30 or 40 years and she's not used it since. So I don't know what languages are up in Russian, Chinese, Iranian, you know? Cool. Yeah, I can order, I can do this or that or the other. I just went to the restaurant, cuál es el almuerzo del día, what's the special of the day, the lunch special of the day, and then he explained it to me, it's soup with cheese and potatoes, and then, hay pescado y arroz con plátano y jugo. So I can get through, but I have to interject before I even start with them. I have to say, yo hablo español básico, háblame como un niño. Talk to me like a child, like, más lento, very slowly, because, it just, I wish I knew more. Oh, okay, cool. I think it's important to know the language, at least one. And I say that because, like, I've been in that milieu. It was kind of like, the movie Close Encounters, when you had the French guy Tufo, or whatever, the character, and he was French with broken English, and then they were talking to the Spanish guy, and there was a guy translating Spanish to English, and then the English guy was translating from English to French for the French guy. So if you had a group of people, one guy spoke French and Spanish, one guy spoke English and French, and another guy spoke Spanish and Russian, you'd be like, you'd expand your base, right? You'd be able to talk to a whole bunch of people, you know. Yeah. Oh, the food must be great up there. Man, I don't know about you, Lawrence, but for the last. I just went and had the food at the restaurant. I had the almuerzo del día, al día. Um, it was potato, cheese, squash soup with the beautiful. I'm not a fan of maracuya, passion fruit, mixed with orange. Thank God. So it cut that taste down a bit, with a beautiful tuna in a peanut butter sauce with rice and a nice fried plantain. $3.75. And I literally was, at the end, I was like, I was shoveling it in just to pack it in. It was so good, and so much food for $3.75 at a restaurant sitting. And the street food here, like I had last night, I had fried chicken. It was in the street, barbecue chicken, sorry. There's all kinds, but man, the food, oh, I'm a sucker for food, and I'm glad I'm not a finicky eater anymore. Like I used to when I was a child. I was one of those, picking, and every little, oh look, oh, it touched this, so I can't eat that section. You know children. I don't know if you guys have had children, or you have children, or you've been around them when they're eating and they're fussy. It's no wonder my mother backhanded me. I don't blame her. It's like, oh my crap, they spend all this time cooking for you, and then you're picking every little thing out of it. But as long as you're not fussy, you can eat well here, and like, well, like, there's a couple things I really can't stand. I will not change. I will never enjoy green pepper slices in my salad, but in my ceviche, when it's cut into little squares about that big, it's part of the meal. It has to be. I despise onions, but when I understand that the onion flavor is required for the roux, for the sauce, okay, well, you got to suck it up, honey bunch, and go with what you know, right? So now I can eat, purple onion and ceviches, and no problem. But you can't be a finicky eater down here, or you're going to be at the supermarket eating all kinds of garbage food, because they have the garbage food here too. They have McDonald's, they have Burger King, they have Kentucky, no Dairy Queen, no A&W. I haven't seen any pizza stores, but Burger King, I think Rotten Ronnie's. Don't quote me on that one, but I know Burger King and I know KFC, absolutely positively, and they mow it down here. And those are the ones that, los gordos, the big ones, So we'll leave it at that. So yeah. So what? Okay, what did I write down here? Okay, a couple things. First and foremost, I see the immigration party has started in America. Um, uh, I don't know enough about. All I know is that if it's not unlike what's going on in Canada with our gangs in Toronto and the bigger cities, it's not a problem in my small town of 1,500 people. But um, I don't have a problem with it. If that's what the truth is, that you're going after the criminal element, the ne'er do wells that are just here to grift off or to suck or off the American teat, so that they can send the Benjamins home to their criminal gang. You got to go. Whatever, what have you. Now my bitch is because I just saw something on a show called Due Dissonance with Keaton Weiss and something Russ Dobular. I don't know I've just started watching these guys, but they were showing a clip from with Dr. Phil going around with Holman, and they're doing some sort of, and I'll agree with them, some sort of cops, immigrant deportation show, and I'm like, okay, you need to stop that immediately. Something. Uh, this is not something you should be making a television show about. That's wrong on so many levels. I mean, uh, yeah, yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I broke the law when I was younger, and I almost went to jail for 2 years for it. No, there was consequences. There's consequences. I'm not gonna argue. Like we've got a couple of Leos in our hometown right now. I just read on our little local page that they come from outside and then they harass our citizens. Seat belts, stop signs. Meanwhile, the criminality in our town has gone exponential with the homelessness and the drug problem, and they're not addressing that, but they're harassing the normal citizen. Yeah, see, that's what I have a problem with. So, and in the same line with the immigration, if you've broken the law, too bad, so sad. I do not cry me a river. I don't care. You know, if I try to come into this country after I've reached my allotment, they're going to deport me. It's as simple as that. And they're going to find me and they're going to say, hey, guess what? You can't come back for a while because you've been a bad boy. Now, there's consequence. So, consequence, that's it. Now, I'm not going to argue the pros and cons of whether the mother had 3 children and, because they were born across the border in some hut and then, they get I don't know enough. I don't know. But what's happened, in my opinion, this is my opinion, of course, that the law-abiding immigrant has come across and he's being caught and it's being conflated. Now, I'm sure that have been some, and it's like any case, you get rounded up. I mean, I remember once after I'd been found guilty and my sentence was commuted and I didn't have to go to jail, but I was on parole for I don't know how many years. Um, I was caught up in some lineups. I was caught up in it because I was part of the system and I was caught up, because I was in that milieu and oh, guess what? You're in a lineup tonight. But too bad, so sad. And unfortunately, lucky for me, I never got railroaded or misidentified, but I'm sure it has happened. But what's happening is they're pimping these cases, which do happen, and I'm sorry that they happen. Hopefully they'll get regulated. But as a rule, I have to agree that I want to see the criminals gone. I want to see the criminals gone from Toronto. I hope, like Holman says, and I agree with him, just go back home and then apply legally. I mean, I don't have the answer. Maybe a shitty system. It may take decades to get. I mean, my daughter's been working in America. She's just renewing her green card. Well, whatever you need, like a working visa or whatever like that. But she's Canadian, but she still has to go through a lot of hoops, and it costs money, and it takes time. I remember the first time, like because you can't make jack shit in Canada in her industry. You can, but not like the money you're making in America. I mean, it's 10 and 1. So, you know. But yeah, apply through the system, I guess. Yeah, they send the U.S. dollar to another country. Yeah, down here. Well, Ecuador uses a dollar, and I was at my barber the other day when I get my hair cut. He's from Colombia, and he told me right to my face, "I'm here for the American dollar," and that's it. He's here for the American dollar, so that he can garner American dollars and he can send them home to his family, because then they can parlay them into other currencies. Like there's a black market for the almighty dollar. You know, I brought down a stack of 100s. I have yet to see a $1 bill down here. Have you guys seen your loonie? You've got a loonie. You've got a. I think they use it for the New York subway tokens. It's an American loonie. It's an American $1 loonie. It's not as big as our loonie. It's kind of like looks like the size of a quarter, but it's gold, and that's what they predominantly use down here. Bugs. Bees. Don't want to kill the bees, but don't be coming around me, man. I got nothing. I think somebody told me that those were subway tokens. Yeah, and she is playing by the rules. She is not, because she doesn't want to lose her right to work in America, and she knows that. Because when she gets makes American money, she changes it into the chicken shit that we've got up here. Or when I say up here, I'm still mentally in Canada. You know, so so she's making good money, man, on the exchange. Like it cost me, what I tell you, $2,100 to get $1,500 American. This $600 is gone in the toilet, just into the ether, gone, gone, just disappeared for for nothing. So wow. Yes, yes, Susan B. Anthony coins. Yes, the loony. As a matter of fact, I think because I remember having a pocket full of them when the last time I was down here before I got married, and I went back, and I think I flew in through Houston. I'm gonna say maybe Denver. Anyway, I went to get a pop at the store, and I threw those down on the table, and she kind of like this, and then she looked at them, and I said, "That's yours," and I think I she did take them, but it was almost like it was an alien currency. I think they're for export. I think they're for export. I mean, they probably send a certain amount of dollars down here, and when I say dollars, five, tens, 20s, 50s, hundreds. Um, I mean, I gave my family, I gave them just because it's they need the money, so I gave them 500 beans, 500 five brand new smack right off the printer Benjamins, and my stack of 100s is in a wrap, and they're all sequential, and they're brand new. When I give them to the taxi drivers, they're like, and they're like, because I have yet to receive a paper dollar in change. Fives, tens, the fives. I don't think they're replacing them, because every time I get a five, it's like Bible paper, and so soft, like there's no crispness to it whatsoever. I mean, I showed you guys the market. I think I did show you a video of the market when I went for fish and seafood that one day. And the guy's got his hands in the fish guts. Yeah, he's washing them, sort of. God help it. And then you're giving him a bill, and he's handing you like. One time I got a handful, a 10 and a 5 back, and I could feel the soppiness of the fish guts and blood on it. I was like, okay, yeah, these bills are soiled. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's a couple of different there's I mean, some First Nations or whatever you call it. I think indigenous, signage on one side. I could go and check some out. I could go get a couple. Hang on, just give me a second. I'm just gonna go run and get a couple. Okay. So, okay, who do we got on this side? We got Lady Liberty on this one. I don't know, is that coming out? Yeah, you can see that, eh? That's Lady Liberty. I think this is the one you said, I believe, Lawrence Sacagawea, if that's how you say that word. It's a lady with a baby. The they're not well minted because they're almost rubbed completely. Lady Liberty, Lady Liberty. Yeah, these are very common. These ones right here like that. And then there's a ton of these 50-cent pieces. I take these back, the 50-cent pieces back to Canada because I like them. You know. Anyway, so that's there's your subway tokens or whatever. But that's what you get in change down here. Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, so I had the one native lady and the rest are Lady Liberty, but the guy in the back is different. Like this one, they're both Lady Liberties, but on the back, Andrew Jackson on this one and Franklin Pierce on this one. So I know who Andrew Jackson is. I don't know who Franklin Pierce is. Was he? I don't remember him being one of your presidents. Could I be wrong? I do know more about your history than ours, but I can't be sure. So, but yeah. Okay, so what I wanted to talk, yeah, okay, so the immigration deportation with the Doctorville TV show, thumbs down. I agree with, and I just wrote due dissonance under here. I don't know these two fellows. I saw them through Jimmy Dore, and all of a sudden I noticed that they have a channel. They're not bad. They need to get out in the sun more. You know, Keaton Weiss looks like he's a vampire. So, but not a bad show. Too long though, 3 hours. Like man, 3 hours. I will never make you guys listen to my drivel for 3 hours. RF confirmation. I do believe he will be confirmed, and then we'll go from there. The cousin coming out and saying that he used to burn Barbie dolls. Well, yeah, I can't. Carolyn Kennedy or whatever, whoa, all of a sudden she's out, and getting mainstream coverage and everything like that, because our poor RFK, man, is he hard to listen to though, eh? Is there no fixing that? I don't know what that is, but is there no fixing that? I feel bad because the guy probably's got a brain, like a big brain, but the poor voice, it's just terrible. I don't know what that is. I know it's a thing. Yeah. OpenAI, Stargate, Skynet, DeepSeek. Is that the Chinese version of the end of the world? Yeah, and this is what it is. Once again, idiocracy. Children playing in a sandbox. Is that we used to say this in the military. If you want to be in charge, you should not be in charge. You know, like, it's like when they, they come to you, like, you all of a sudden, like in, not like Full Metal Jacket, but not unlike Full Metal Jacket, when Snowball got fired and he put Joker as the class leader or the course senior or whatever like that. Most of the time it's like, you're just like, oh crap, no thanks, man. But then there would be other guys be working to get it so that they could be, and if it should be like jury duty, a dreaded, a necessary thing, but dreaded. You know, you know. So you want, because if, because, but the thing is because there's no consequence for these MFers. That's why they want the job. They can f it up as bad as they want. Newsom, uh, the girl in California, Bass, I believe the mayor's name, whatever, what have you, whomever. Like they absolutely, the criminal mayor with the velociraptor nails, uh, yellow hair, mayor of some place, I think Springfield, Ohio. Like these, that's not kosher. You know, there's no consequence for these people. Yeah. Okay. Okay, I'll try to do that, JC. I'll try to do that. No, that's a pretty good idea. Most of the time, I do that. Like sometimes when slow talkers, yeah, I'll just speed them up, and it'll sound normal, eh? It's pretty funny, but yeah. Okay, so no negative to the RFK confirmation. Okay, so Stargate, Skynet, DeepSeek. I have not downloaded this app. I have not looked into it. All I know is that I'm following the narrative on the interwebs as to, I'm not a I'm not a hater of AI, as long as all of the AI is like Sunny from iRobot, that they have a heart or something like that. I don't know if you can program that into AI, but if they turn out to be Vicky, like from iRobot, and say, well, in order for us to preserve humanity, we're going to have to kill off about half of you, that kind of scares me. So, what we got here, bro? I'll let you go. He's doing some painting today, doing some maintenance at the airport, doing the fence. So when I was thinking of the Stargate, all I'm thinking right now is it's all the Benjamins and all the garbage that's going on right now. Like these guys are so on board with it, the Larry Ellisons and all of this, that it does frighten me, because I think that those people are far too powerful in their own right. Because once again, they're, in my opinion, because there's no consequence. There's not, that they could fuck it up, and then release something stupid, or have like the Forbin project or whatever, and then have then just scurry off somewhere. Well, oh well, shit. We'll just wait it out, because the batteries will die or whatever, what have you. I'm just you know pulling that out of my ass, like with iRobot, the one with Will Smith. I don't. I hate that Will Smith's in it, but it's a good movie. I like it. At the end when when he kills Vicky off, then everything stops and everything goes back to normal. But that's Hollywood, right? So I don't know what's going to go on, but I do know that if they are trying to vilify, or not to vilify, but to make some, they're none too happy. I can use, if I can use that term. 12 years ago they did it. Uh, yeah, yeah. You know, Listen, I've been on the interwebs for as long as the interwebs has been around. I've had this channel since 2006, albeit in the basement of YouTube, and nobody really sees it, but I'm out there. There's no hiding. They've probably, mapped every corner of my face, and they could, reproduce me AI wise, saying horrible, horrible things. To what end, I don't know. I mean, I look at what's going on the interwebs now with the AI fakes, and I'm like, wow, are they just testing the waters? You know, what are the forensics like that they can say no, that's fake, or no, that's real? Like, I don't have the technology, I don't have the tools. I can look at a bodybuilding picture and say, okay, that's completely fake. Nobody's in perfect symmetry. Nobody has that. Nobody can be like that. If you look at Arnold, who would be considered perfect in the world, and then you look at these pictures, and I'm like, that's and especially the women. They're making the women like it's crazy. I don't know. There's this fetish of hot women heads on like male bodies. Their midsection is still the girl, and then it's just like, hey man, uh, what's her name? Betty Grable. Gams are my thing, right? I'm a gams guy, and I'm a firm lover of women's soccer because I love a chick with good strong bottom end. That's my thing. That's what I've always loved. A good set of gams, good trunk. I could care less about the top because I always said to myself, she'd say, "Oh, is this? Do I look?" I said, "I've got boobs. Who the fuck cares?" So but now they're just getting over the top where it's like, oh crap, that's those are Tom Platt's legs, and that's not natural. Yeah, yeah, I believe that, Lawrence. I mean, I've already done that. I've already done that investigation into the like when I've gone on to comment, like when like the C-SPAN, for instance, or CTV, or some of the bigger ones, and then you'll just see the, oh, you're the best thing since sliced bread, and then they circle jerk each other, and then they like each other's comments, and you'll get one comment and it's like it's a zillion likes, and it's like, how the hell? And you go to the channel, and there's no content, there's no nothing. It has to be an AI bot channel. They get the old channels that have died off or whatever, people just abandon them or whatever, and then they just make it into something like, put a fake profile name face, or it is that easy. And what kills me is people are lazy. They don't vet. They don't confirm. They don't check. And then oh, that's a great comment. Yeah, this is, Trump, whatever. And it's like you're replying to a bot, man. Even I've been caught up, and I'm like, you got me. Damn it, you got me. You know. But yeah, so this deep suck or deep seek. I've already done the Chat GPT gambit. I've already asked it the questions that I want to ask it. I know that Blofeld and the other guy from James Bond, the guy with the boats. Oh, that which episode? Which one was that one? Blofeld. I'm talking about the Blofeld one with the laser from space, starting fires. Yeah, we know that exists. So all of these uh, people, as it were, are. Oh, I don't even know what to say about them. I mean, listening to Larry Ellison talk when he was talking about, well, everybody will behave if we're surveilling them 100% of the time. You know what that's called? Prison or the military, but more likely prison. Can you imagine if it's like V or Children of Men? You know, I see Children of Men getting a lot of traction lately. That you're literally like, there's drones everywhere, there's cameras everywhere, and you literally, even in your own home, because everything is being listened to, your phone, your stove, everything is AI and everything can listen, you know? It's not going to be a good way, man. Come on, solar flare. Diamonds are forever. Real genius. Oh, that's an old one, eh? That's an old one when he was really young. Yeah. And in keeping with this deep AI or deep fake or deep steak or deep suck or whatever, um, Tucker had an interview with some fella, and they were talking about the deep or the AI guy that was found on the beach dead, committed suicide with 2 bullets in the back of his head. I know that's not the case, but and then we just literally we turned the page the next day. Something is going on with that. I do believe that this thing by the Chinese wasn't just by happenstance. This announcement by the $500 billion or million or whatever they're investing is not by happenstance. I believe something is just on the whistleblowers go bye-bye, you know, literally, unless it's convenient. Like the Boeing ones, the anything about the government or the Epstein, however you want to use that word or whatever. And you know, meanwhile, what do I have on my news feed? CTV headline: Dog gets eaten by coyote in Toronto. Sad, very sad. Woman doesn't want to be identified. But why? What? My son's cat got eaten right in front of him by a coyote in Edmonton. It wasn't on the news. A cat's going missing in my town. There's not an RCMP investigation into where the cats are going. Nobody cares. Harry and Meghan following a script for the royal shit show to keep going on so that we can actually feign happiness and whatever, what have you for it. Yeah, okay. The hook is set, and we're being reeled into some way that we I don't know how we're going to stop it. I don't know. Like, I know. Well, I think you've said it before. We've all said it before. Collective. It'd be a collectivism, and we just stop doing business. We literally. But how is that going to happen? We get animals running around the planet right now, just doing heinous things. Very small percentage. Maybe you should have a purge. I don't know, but a collective, a general strike. You know, no, nothing moves. You know, I don't know how you get the word out that okay, everybody stock up for 6 weeks, 10 weeks, 8 weeks, stock up, and then you stay at home or you do whatever, and you don't do anything for the system, and will they go away if we don't care? I don't think so, but I hope. You know, I know that according to ChatGPT's answer, they'll probably crash Apophis into the earth somehow. They can do it. It's been proven to me anyway. I don't care what anybody else says. So yeah, make it a natural disaster. Oh, gee whiz, we've got this new system ready to roll. I just hope that we don't get caught up in that kind of future. But as it sits now, we're watching Harry and Meghan, and we give a shit. We have shows dedicated to it. We're still arguing about who should be in a bathroom. That tells me our brains are in the wrong place. Somebody was debating Star Trek again, and I said, well, love it or hate it, the planet Earth was united in some way or form. I'm not going to argue how it happened, but one planet, one people. One planet, one people. When we're all considered like if aliens were to come here, we're Earthers or we're Terrans. That's it. We're not, okay, yeah, sure, they have all kinds of different cats on the planet, different dogs on the planet, but they're dogs, they're cats. Who gives a shit? People may like this cat more than that cat, as opposed to this dog, as opposed to that dog, and that type of human more than that human. But that's their thing. But when it all comes down to it, we're Terrans, we're Earthers, and we should act accordingly. But we seem to have had our head in the wrong place. So I don't have the answer. I'm not smart enough. I'd like to be on the board to think that we were smart enough to figure out the answer. All five of us and me. Yeah. Yeah. Go back to the old ways for a while, you know. Good solar flare. Sun's dead as a dog shit right now, though, eh? The sun is dead, man. Got one little itty bitty spot on it right now, I think. Yeah. I've still got my old Motorola cell phone. I believe that was analog technology, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, the it's the gray box Motorola. The big one, the flip out, and the. I mean, it all it did was talk. I don't even think you could text with it at that stage of the game, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, but it doesn't function. At least I don't think so. There's nothing I can do with it. I mean, it's part of my historical memorabilia that I have at my house. Like I still have the old Apple computer with the 10-inch black screen monitor. Unfortunately, my kids did something and it doesn't function anymore. I'm sure it could be fixed because it comes on, it just the screen doesn't go on. But I think they poured sugar on something. I gave it to the kids to play with, but I still have that old. What was that movie where they had old technology, like a steampunkish type of existence? You know, not Blade Runner, but sort of Blade Runner-ish. Old cars with new technology jammed into it. Yeah, they won't connect. Yeah, I can plug it in. I can make it go bah, and then press the buttons and make funny noises with it, but it doesn't do anything. I have old flip phones that I've tried to connect because all I wanted was text and talk. I'm gonna be forced to get a phone eventually, just because of the way like I tried to use my credit card out of Canada, and it want okay, this is the kicker. I've got security measures, the codes and the questions and everything for my credit card, and I use it in Canada, no problem. I leave my town and it says, yeah, sure, you can use your card, but we need to send a code to your phone. And I'm like, no. And they won't even send it to my email. They'll only send it to my phone, which that's my landline. I'm not home, morons. So I might be forced to get a phone just for that case because I'm stuck. Like I'm gonna have to get my wife to book my flight my last leg that I haven't booked yet from Vancouver to Kelowna because I haven't booked it. And I was gonna book from here, and guess what? Or I'll have a FaceTime with her. She'll answer the phone and give me the code over. It's ridiculous, and it doesn't do anything. It just makes my life more miserable. My kingdom, my kingdom for the right answer. Yeah, that's what. Are we asking the AI, DeepSeek, or the DeepSuck, or ChatGTP? How do we fix this? Has anybody asked it that? What's the ultimate answer? 42? I don't think so. You know. you know. Yeah. Ham radios too. My buddy has a ham radio. He doesn't have his license. My dad had his license a long time ago. We let it lapse. V blah 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 for Canada, right? V 2, 3, 4, depending on what province you're in. This is bop, 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 you know. I don't know what's going to happen. Maybe we'll use carrier pigeons like they did in the old days. I don't know. Yeah, you're going to get run over, Choco. That was Luis in his car. You don't feel guilty if you run over the dog, like my mom did in Africa when the dog stopped chasing cars, after it got run over. Didn't kill it, just ran over its leg, took all the hair off one side of its leg. Stupid dog. We chased cars every time the car would leave it. Chase, and then finally got wrapped up into the back tire. That'll learn you. But you're not going to do that again, eh? Ha 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 ha. Shall we play a game? How about a nice game of chess? I watched that movie again It's one of my go-tos. It's like anything on The Stand, War Games. Yeah, it's dated and everything, of course, but I love that movie. Can AI learn? Can it? Fuck, I hope so. Does it have a heart? Can it have a heart? Like a heart, like, you know? I mean, sometimes I feel, some of the decisions I've made in my life, ooh, yeah, you need to go out into the backyard and whip yourself for that. I need to pay a tithe for that. There's some penance that I have to do, or I honestly feel just effing horrible because this thing is terrible sometimes. It can just be absolutely acerbic knife. So yeah, can AI learn from itself to not throw the baby out with the bathwater? I don't know. We made it, eh? It's human made, right? Like Star Trek. What was the one with the Dr. Daystrom when he made the computer take over the Enterprise and he put his crazy brain in there? Oh shit! You remember that one? Yeah, understand it. Yeah, really. Like it's like we've got 3-4% of the population that are sociopathic, psychopathic, that have no, they don't feel like we do. Like guilt, shame, whatever you want to have. Like the Forbin Project, Dr. Forbin, Billy Bob and Janie Bob did this and that and the other. At this moment, they're being executed. I want the bodies to lay out all day so I can look at them. They're like, holy fuck, it's. Anyway, the cork is off the bottle. The genie's out. I'm not going to be able to put the genie back in. I hope that we can, that it's not, I hope it's Barbara Eden, just stupid. You know, that should have been an R-rated show. M5, yeah, the M5 is out of business. I can't remember the line that you're gonna get run over. There's Choco Pero. Yeah, he's a mixed German Shepherd mixed dog. He's a good dog. He gets treats every day. Yeah, the M5, man. Like how in the name of crimson crap are we gonna, I have my faith. That's all I've got. I have a modicum of hope. I'm, and I'll just say this because I was watching Constantine as well because I'm here and I'm getting a chance to watch a lot of movies. Constantine with Keanu, and I pray. I do it a lot. I do it every morning, part of my 12-step program. I give thanks for everything that I've been blessed with, because my standard prayer, is I do the Lord's Prayer and then I do my thank you for my blessings. Thank you for everything, every skinned knee, every punched face, every learned lesson that was learned the hard way. The motorcycle accident, which probably saved my life in the long run because it was bad enough to hurt me very badly, but not bad enough to kill me. But I did learn from it, and so I thank my higher power, whatever you want to, whatever's good for you, for that. And I have that, but it's almost, I like, after watching Constantine, I was like, and then I was watching Dogma as well, and I was like, is he in the hospital on ventilation? Has he been put on ice? Nothing seems to be being rectified unless we haven't hit our bottom yet, and that's at all possible. If you all know what a bottom is and what everybody has to hit in their own life in order to pick themselves up. Yeah. More pelican. You know what? I'll be out on the beach when I get them hunting, hopefully, and doing the dives. I would love to be out in the water when they're doing it right next to me, that I could go with the camera up and down. But absolutely more walks. Today's my Wednesday live day. I'm staying around home. I went to have a wonderful meal at my favorite restaurant. I'll post the video. $3.75 for a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful meal. I was just like, to the girls in the kitchen, you guys, like, thank you. The soup was hearty, full of fish and potatoes. The fish was tuna in a peanut sauce with rice and a, it's wonderful. Now, Not a fan of maracuya, but that's just me, right? So as long as there was orange juice in it, yeah. No, great show, guys. And then when they're good, they go fast, unfortunately. But we've reached an hour. I'm not going to keep anybody more than an hour. I am not Do Dissidents. I am not Jimmy Dore. I am not those guys who can talk for 3 and 5 hours on a show. That's just far too long, in my opinion. You'd have to put me on triple speed, and the way I'm a fast talker, it would just come off as that. So, but yeah, clouding over right now. It was hot as ass before. We're clouding over. We had big rain last night, nice and muddy. Everything we needed the rain. Unfortunately, rain brings mosquitoes, so we'll have to be watching for that. I don't want to get dengue again. That sucked. Yeah, yeah. Thank you all for coming out, JC, Archie, Lawrence. I don't see Retro anywhere. I don't know if he's watching. Retro and everybody who else, Babalu42, whomever else is watching but not chiming in. Mom, hi mom. Mom always gets to watch my videos, gets a crack, just to check on her son to make sure that he's not completely losing his mind. So yeah, yeah. Live long and prosper, brothers and sisters, man. Absolutely. Take care of yourself, take care of your family, take care of your garden. Protect the food. I have that's in the back of my head. Protect the food. Everything else, the Harry and the Harry and Meghan Markle thing, it's a clown show. We don't even waste our time. So anyway, peace to you and yours, and we will hope to see you on the flip side. And as always, I think something's going on with this. Oh, is it still working? Okay, yeah, here we go. End stream. Peace, love, and goodness, everybody.